we've known each other for over a decade, I think, a long time now. So, the PEO business, it's an interesting business. And, the thing that I think small business owners need to understand is that, you can't do it all great, and by outsourcing this function of your business, it's going to allow you to focus on your core business and taking care of that.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, when you first think about going into business, it's not to handle the administrative duties. It's to, be a real estate guru or investor, or to become a plumber, or whatever your passion may be is why you get into business. So taking care of those back office things is not something you think about.
Right.
And I think it's important today because, after doing some research, just 543,000 businesses started every month this year in 2018 across the United States. So a lot of people are getting that entrepreneurial bug, if you will, and there are certain rules and regulations you need to adhere to in order to stay compliant, like we talked about, and make sure you don't get in trouble with the Department of Insurance.
Yep.
In the state of Florida, unless you're in construction, because if you're in construction business and you hire one employee, full-time or part-time, you're required to have workers' comp coverage. Now, if it's another industry or trade, as soon as you get to 4 full-time or part-time people, you need to have work comp coverage. So the challenge with a lot of these startup companies, your traditional insurance carriers, because you've never been in business before, they don't feel comfortable taking a risk on you.
Right.
And that's where the PEO can come in and help you out a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. So they starting out. First of all, let's start with that stat. I mean, 543,000 new businesses.
Yeah,
man, that speaks volumes about the economy and where we're at.
Right.
It looks like we're on this bull run. Things are looking great. I hate to play the devil's advocate all the time here on the show, but I want to be that consumer advocate and kind of warn people. But there's a lot of student loan debt out there, trillions of dollars of debt. So I'm kind of thinking about when is the pullback going to happen? When is there going to be kind of a reset, a recession? How bad will it be? What's the numbers going to look like? But hey, let's celebrate it while it's good. 543,000 new businesses started over the last over the last year or month to month?
That's month to month.
Wow, that's a lot of business.
It's a lot of businesses, and I completely agree with you. The thing to be conscious and aware of is, I think we talked about the last time I was here, is we're going to find out who the real players are.
Yes.
Are you starting a business and you're selling something, or are you raising capital?
Exactly.
Because there's a difference between raising capital for an idea and it failing and actually going into business. And
it's easy to win right now. It's easy to win right now. They start up a lot of these so-called entrepreneurs, they go online, they go on Instagram, they put themselves as this flashy profile. I'm a CEO. They're selling T-shirts or whatever.
Right.
But when that disposable income, that dollar becomes tighter, that's when you find out who really is in the game.
Everything changes from a consumer perspective, right? We don't eat out as much. We don't shop as often. We watch our spending, and then that, like you said, that discretionary income spending goes down. So we'll find out who the real entrepreneurs are, I think, over the next 18 to 24 months.
That's right. Yeah, you see it in every industry. The real estate agents, the mortgage brokers, the whole industries. People are going to be spending less money out boating on the weekends, as we were talking about before the show. And so it's going to shake it out. Price of gas, yeah. Gas is still...
Everything plays a factor.
543 new businesses starting. So what would be your advice to those new business owners, Patrick?
Well, go into business with a plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And execute on that plan is key. And it's funny, I was having a conversation before I got here, and sometimes we're a little naive. You set up an LLC, you put up a web page, and I know this happened to me 12 years ago when we went into business. For the first month, I looked at the phone. I was wondering why it wasn't ringing. People don't automatically find you on Google, so you have to make sure that you have some sort of sales and marketing plan to get the word out and the messaging out that you do exist. And then as you grow to the point of hiring people, then now you have human capital problems, because we're humans, and there's things that are going on in each employee's personal life that have an impact on your business. So when you get into managing people, that also deters and distracts you from what you got in business to do. So you need to have the right strategic partner managing a lot of those administrative things to help support you so you can still drive the top line.
That's a good point. You know, with a lot of business owners, they come in with an idea, they suffer from confirmation bias. They think, oh well, this is great. They think their idea is so awesome, but they really haven't tested it. You know, kind of like the Blockbuster video conundrum, right? You know, they think, oh, we're great, but then Netflix comes in. But, you know, the point I wanted to make is one of our partners as well, David Ringo, he's with 3D Solar. They were Fast 50, and they were ranked at number 12 on the Fast 50, had something like 300% growth year over year. And a couple years in a row, he did really good. But the number one was something like 13,000% growth. But think about the challenges they have from an HR perspective and where it aligns with PEO business.
With that much growth, I can't even fathom how many new people they're having to recruit, bring on board. So from an onboarding standpoint, from an HR standpoint, making sure that you're hiring appropriately, and then the culture aspect that plays into that. I mean, 13,000% growth. That's unbelievable.
It is. It's a lot.
Kudos to them. That's crazy.
It had to be. I was thinking about it. Like, what business can do that? It has to be some kind of internet-based business. I mean, they're selling something online. I would think something along those lines. Because we were talking with David about his solar business. He said, you know, every house we sell, we're on top of the roof installing solar. So you know, there's only so much you can do in a certain amount of time.
There's only so many rooftops, right?
Yeah. But that's great. Hey, stay with us. More from Patrick Moraites here. He's PEO Advantage is his company name, and he's got ways to help business owners succeed and avoid a lot of the common pitfalls when it comes to growing your business. PEO is professional employer organization, so they come in and they will kind of outsource some of your functions as a business owner, especially workers' comp, some of those things when it comes to leveraging numbers with resources in terms of payroll and some other sources. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors. We've got a great lineup for you today.
So if you're startup company or just getting into business, it's a great opportunity to consider PEO because you don't have to have any type of history. So no workers' comp history, no problem, no deposit, no audit, pay as you go. So the no deposit, no audit, what's big there is there's no down payment on the premium. That's huge, especially if you're getting going. You're not really cash flow positive yet, and if you're writing checks for your GL or your property or what other lines of insurance, you don't have to do that in this type of arrangement and strategic partnership.
I like that. So reach out to Patrick Moraites. PEO Advantage can help you with all your questions, all of those small business questions, medium-sized business, you're growing a business. He's got, solutions, been doing it for a long time here in Tampa Bay, and he can help you with that.